Hey folks, it's Moxley here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You joined us for our biggest show yet. That is the second edition of All Out, or All Out 2. The second annual All Out. That sounds better. Yeah, I'll go with that. Second edition of All Out. So I'm looking forward to this. As I say, it's a stacked card and a few of the instances that will happen tonight will take us going forward into our yet to be named September pay-per-view. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So get ready, it's going to be a good one. As always, any comments on this, your own saves, TW in general and wrestling are deeply appreciated. All the usual places to check out are in the description below. A wee thumbs up and a sub is appreciated as well, because these videos are going daily still at this moment in time. I'll post up in the community section when we'll be going to maybe every couple of days, but for now we're still daily. Here we go. Hopefully, looking at the moment at an attendance of 38,872. We're in the south east area as well as are. We're really just making sure we can get as much money as possible. This is the first time I've booked a pay-per-view under the 1.07 patch. Yes, I'm aware by the time this goes live there'll be newer patches, but this was the most up-to-date one at the time of recording. So hopefully make profit this month, and I hope you guys enjoy what's about to go down. So we'll crack on. We are on Bleacher Report Live, Fight TV and In Demand. This is AEW All Out 2, or the second edition of All Out. I'll make my mind up at one point. So we've got a pre-show, and it's a sold out 38,000 in the southeast region, which is good. We had a terrible pre-show match that saw Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt defeat Alex Reynolds and John Silver in 9:59 when the Luchasaurus submitted John Silver. A 44 here is not too bad. Jungle Boy at ringside, obviously he had to prepare for his match later on tonight. 49 for Marco Stunt, a 45 for Luchasaurus. But it's just generally giving two members of the Jurassic Express a bit of momentum and another victory. We then see Christopher Daniels heading to the arena. Due to both him and Scorpio Sky being in tonight's ladder match, they've decided to arrive alone. He grabs his bag from the car and he walks towards the entrance when out of nowhere Lance Archer runs and clotheslines Daniels nearly right out of his shoes. He throws Daniels around off cars before picking him up, and he nails Daniels with a blackout right on top of a car. Brutal attack from Lance Archer. Surely this questions Daniels' participation in tonight's ladder match. So, an assault in the pre-show from Lance Archer on Daniels. The Who from the SCU storyline advances, and a 60 rated segment here. Next up, I had tag team action on the pre-show. It was a decent pre-show match that had Private Party defeat the Hybrid 2 in 10:25 when Isaiah Cassidy pinned Jack Evans, and Helico still the weak link, but he's getting there. That's about a 10 improvement in in-ring performance. A 66, so this match could probably be an upper mid-card of an episode of Dynamite, but need to utilise them because they are two very effective tag teams. We then had another pre-show match that saw Jake Hager defeat Colt Cabana in 9:09 with the Patriot Lock. A 65 here, so very good. Colt with a 64 and a 59 for Hager. Overall I'm happy with that, just trying to keep Hager's morale happy because he wasn't on the card, and gains him some momentum with a victory over Cabana. Then we have an announcement. Due to the shocking attack on Christopher Daniels, he's been taken out of tonight's ladder match, with his late replacement being in the form of his SCU partner Frankie Kazarian. So a 49. Reality is, when I booked the match up, because of his physical abilities at this moment in time, felt it was too dangerous, would not take part in it. So, simple solution, Frankie Kazarian is in, Christopher Daniels is out. No ladder matches before he retires in 2 months' time. So we start the show, we're now into our main event now, and it was a decent match. It saw Scorpio Sky defeat Sammy Guevara, Cash Wheeler, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin and Frankie Kazarian in a ladder match in 12:55 when Scorpio Sky retrieved the item. Jungle Boy's a weak link, Darby Allin was head and shoulders above the rest. A 65 is a good opener here, and he got the crowd hotter, and he got the show off to a strong start. You can see a mixture of abilities there. But yeah, so Scorpio Sky is the #1 contender for the TNT Championship, and a lot of good impressive performances there to open the show. So it's a night of mixed emotions for SCU, with Christopher Daniels being taken out early on, whilst his replacement didn't win. It's the stablemate who will challenge Archer. So really just a wee angle there to show the celebration, as Scorpio Sky gets a 44 in that segment. Next up, we had a match that had good heat and decent wrestling. MJF defeated Trent in 11:48 with a Swanton Bomb, following interference from Wardlow. So a 65 match is pretty respectable as well. And the Best Friends again on the losing side, with MJF continuing to keep his winning streak going, and it got the crowd hotter again, so a good win for MJF. A few negatives there, well actually just holding back because I made it my storytelling match of the evening. Next up, we had a decent matchup that saw Nikki Storm defeat Nyla Rose in 10:01 by pinfall with the Perfect Storm. This was due to us having Tenille Dashwood come in and distract Nyla Rose, giving Nikki Storm the win and the AEW Women's title. So first off, a 64 rating is good, a 68 for Nikki and a 35 for Nyla. So you can see why the titles went straight on Nikki Storm off the bat, because we have to grow everyone to get to her level. The Tenille Dashwood debut was a very good rating of the Girl Next Door gimmick. Makes sense because the size difference between Nyla and Nikki, it would take a wee kind of nice distraction to distract Nyla, and Tenille can do that. So it gives us more depth on the babyface side as well in the women's division, and the storyline advances gaining heat, but it's the best rating I've had in the women's division by far. But is that all we've got in the women's division? After a distraction by Tenille Dashwood, Nikki Storm has won the AEW Women's Championship. Whilst Nikki celebrates, we hear a few words from Tenille. Nyla's kind of staggering about the ring, and she says, "Well, Nyla, we heard you wanted added competition in this division. You've got Nikki, she'll bring it. I certainly have a point to prove, so I'll bring it. But it's not just the two of us who are here to teach you a lesson." Top of the ramp, there she stands, and Tenille shouts, "Welcome to AEW, Toni Storm." So Toni poses at the top of the ramp, whilst Nyla looks like she saw a ghost. So Toni Storm debuts the fan favourite gimmick, which get very good, 47 rating, because she's under a kind of handshake deal because of NXT UK and other commitments. I swooped straight away for her, which makes up for the fact I kind of forgot to get in for Candice LeRae on the last episode, and she had renewed her contract within 2 days. But yeah, so we've added Nikki Storm, Tenille Dashwood and Toni Storm to our women's division. We are going places. We are going to get this women's division to a very, very high level. That is the aim, and hopefully we can do that. I've got a few ideas where I want to go with the women's division, and hopefully we can achieve that. Next up, we had our best ever match. Yay! And about that had great wrestling and good heat. The Young Bucks defeated Santana and Ortiz in 15:18 when Matt Jackson pinned Santana with the Meltzer driver, an 86, so that's by far my best rating yet. This was a Steal the Show match, which is why that got into the light blue. I hope that's light blue. A 92 for Nick, an 88 for Matt. Santana and Ortiz, I actually wanted to put them over, but Matt wasn't having it and I wanted the high rating, so I went, okay, we'll give it to the Young Bucks and they can get the upper hand on the inner circle here. So it got the crowd buzzing. Surely the only negatives has got to be inconsistencies in Excalibur. That's fine, but delighted with that. It may actually be my best match in TW yet, which is crazy, but I've never at this point in recording booked any WWE stuff. Next up, we've got a short hype package for Chris Jericho versus Cody for the Executive Vice President of AEW. It documents the feud so far, including the various promos on each other and their match from Dynamite. Who shall prevail tonight? Like you say, 71. This one I'm with you on because Jericho's in-ring hasn't been great. It's not horrible. It was about that had fantastic heat and decent wrestling. Cody defeated Chris Jericho in 24:02 with a Crossroads. During the matchup, we had Cash Wheeler target Cody, we had Jake Hager attack Cody, and Sammy Guevara attack Cody, but he overcame the odds and a 70 rating there. A 67 for Cody, a 57 for Jericho. Yeah, in-ring stuff's not great for Jericho, despite actually being not too bad in real life at the moment. But yeah, the declining physical ability is going to take its toll. And yeah, the champion hopefully puts Cody over a few bits of overness with this match. And would you believe we've still got 2 more matches to go? He did it. Cody has defeated Chris Jericho, even with interference from the many members of the Inner Circle. Cody pins Chris Jericho and remains the EVP of AEW. He celebrates in the middle of the ring as his pyro goes off. So celebrations for Cody. Brandy's there as well, as is Arn Anderson, and it is a 68 for that segment. From one member of the Elite to another, Kenny Omega, who's cutting a promo. And he says, Pac, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, tonight myself, Hangman, and Matt Hardy will get our revenge. I'll admit the night you won the tag titles, you did well, but I believe myself and my partners that we can restore the good in the world and prove that we are the Elite. And that win tonight will prove to the world that when the rematch happens, that we'll take back those tag titles, which will be the case when I nail one of you with the one-winged angel, because once that hits you, it will be 1, 2, 3, good day and good night. So an 82 promo from Kenny, and the storyline gains heat. He benefits from the groundswell of public support. Match, I think we know the reason why that's flopped. And about had great wrestling and good heat. The Death Triangle of Pac, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix, or Phoenix, defeated Matt Hardy, Adam Page and Omega in 25-15 when Ray Phoenix defeated Matt Hardy with a Meteora. Matt was a weak link here, of course, on an in-ring performance because he's declining physical ability. 53 for Hardy, a 62 for Hangman, 65 for Pentagon because of the injury, and 85 and 83 for Ray Phoenix and Pac, respectively. I'm hoping that injury, obviously, it's taken a toll, so that's probably dropped it from an 80-odd performance as well, with groin inflammation, so we'll see how bad that is. But overall, Phoenix looked good, Omega looked good, and hopefully that doesn't ruin my plans for matches going forward. Thanks, Finley. And our main event, about that had fantastic heat, great wrestling. Jon Moxley defeated Brodie Lee in 24-10 with a Death Rider. Jon Moxley makes the defence number 4 of the AEW World title. I just did not want that title off Moxley. He's got to keep it for a wee bit longer. 81 rating here. Moxley an 88, Brodie Lee with 63. And this could be even better if we had the psychology in this match, one of the guys to carry it. Then you're probably looking at an 85, 86 maybe. And yeah, it's obviously going to take a hit in both guys' performance. So overall, considering the level we're at, is good. But what happens after it? Jon Moxley's done it. He's defeated Brodie Lee and retained his AEW World title. He celebrates to the fans for a while, and then he leaves the ring before he heads to the top of the ramp. And from the back, here comes the bastard Pac, and Pac attacks him. He hits him with lefts and rights and kicks with his left foot, his right foot. He then grabs a staggering Jon Moxley, and he just launches him off the stage to the floor below. Pac stands on top of the ramp with the AEW World title in one hand, and he poses over a stricken Jon Moxley miles below. 78 rating. Moxley versus Pac going forward. I cannot wait for that again, especially in TEW. And that means we finished the show with an 81, our best show by far, and increased our popularity in 56 regions around the world. So things to take for that. A good main event that could have been better. A good co-main event that could have been better. Cody v Jericho, obviously showing Jericho's weaknesses, and an absolutely stellar performance from the Young Bucks and Proud and Powerful. But we covered a lot of things, a few storylines advanced to the next level going forward, and a few pre-show matches as well. Delivered and told a story. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. 56 regions is good. Let's jump back and see what's happening in the main screen. And hopefully we can gain some money. So we'll probably skip through this day. We'll look at a few things, and then we'll get the live reaction to anything that happens as we get into September. So All Out really struck gold, which is good to see. Pentagon Jr. a week for him to fully heal, that's not too bad then, as long as he's going to be fine for the next event, which I haven't named yet, but by the time this goes live it'll be booked. Don't worry about that. Oh, and that's just confirming that Hikaru Shida is going to move to $240 per show on a handshake deal. No, it's a written ironclad, sorry, so she's took a much lesser contract, but just to try and get her over. And Penta, exclusive written, 42,000. Big contract then. Still looking at Cage, and obviously Ortiz, we told you about, that contract was offered. Viewing figures 870,799 and the buy rate of 1.14. Hopefully much better. There we go. Pay-per-view revenue times by 4. So there's the difference between the patches, what you were getting with the pay-per-view revenue. So that possibly could nullify all our debt, our losses that we'd made, and can really give us an opportunity to splash the cash and start bringing more big names in, and eventually take this to a few brands. But we'll go forward an extra day, and the reason for that is obviously your end of month finances. You know, you get a few things that come up then. We'll see what kind of pops up here, even if any contracts pop up. There we go. There's somebody that would be interesting, and I'm not meaning Ronda Rousey. She's on hiatus. There was a reason we couldn't get Ronda. We've applied, we've had contracts in for her before, but I think it's because she's on hiatus, I want to say. Aye, and she won't come back, so that's cool. May as well try for him. But on a serious note though, the finance situation, profit was 280,000, so that's ideal. Profit, we can gain that money back, and then the thing is, as long as we're still got good money in reserve, then we're always going to be in a good position, so we'll be able to be a bit more aggressive on the attacking front. Other things to look at: size, a couple of 71s in there, 68s and 67s. It's going to take probably until WrestleMania maybe before we get to a position where we're getting 77s, so yeah, we'll aim for that kind of time and hopefully get to a big size. But yeah, just confirm that Ortiz contract. Kenny Omega's gone from AAA, that's fine. Good. So that's it for this episode. Let me know what you thought of All Out, if you feel like it was a true fitting season finale. But yeah, there's big plans for this to try and make it a proper war between ourselves and the World Wrestling Entertainment, and to try and, yeah, take over the world. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have started an AEW save as well, what direction you've went, and when did you really truly get the Monday war beginning? I don't know about Monday Night War, but when did you get the wars begin? Let me know anyway. But cheers for watching, much appreciated. Stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you for the next episode of Dynamite on the road to our next event. Thanks, and see you later.